every democratic countries or countries with democracies now good informed about the reality about this Russia war in Ukraine, about that Russia tried to occupy Ukraine, and and for this moment. There are hundreds and thousands of journalists are covering this war in Ukraine, and just yesterday I told with some officials from our Ministry of Defense, and she told me that there are more than 5,000 war accreditations, war press cards issued in Ukraine for this moment from the first day of war. So I think that it means that as journalists from Ukrainian media and journalists from foreign media receiving war press cards, but 5,000 war press cards, it means that this war is covering as maybe live show, as a reality TV reality show. So I think that everybody who is interested in Ukrainian topic in this war know everything about it. But in countries where democracy is not priority, we see that such country and people in these countries, they maybe don't realize, they don't know, but it's evident that now Ukraine is a victim of Russian aggression, and we see that Russia as a state is a terrorist state, and there are many evidence that Russia organizing genocide on Ukrainians, and we saw horrible pictures and details from Bucha, from Irpin. It's neighboring cities and towns close to Kiev, and we now saw many horrible videos and pics from Mariupol, and we see that Russia doesn't ruin only military places, but it's Russia tried to ruin peaceful country and peaceful people in Ukraine. No, no. For this moment, we see that many countries, many people try to support and are supporting us, supporting in humanitarian aid, supporting from some weapons. But for this moment, we see that Ukraine is fighting for a democratic world. We are fighting for Europe, we are fighting for Western democracy, but only Ukrainians now are fighting, not other countries. It's hard question, it's hard topic, but Putin he wants to destroy not only Ukraine. Ukraine is the first victim, but not the last. So I think that Ukraine doesn't receive enough weapons, doesn't receive support, and Russia as gigantic terrorist has more possibility to ruin, to fight, to to have more long war, and we hope that world will be more effective to supporting Ukraine and to stop this ruin war. There are many discussion about sanction, about the effectiveness, because maybe Western governments discussing about economical sanction as good instrument to stop Putin, but maybe such policy is not good for stopping Putin, but it's maybe good instrument to unite Putin and Russians. Russians are victims of Russian propaganda, and such sanction and such some economical problems now are presented by Russian propaganda not as problems organized by Putin and his regime, but as problems that all world try to fight Russia. All world not try to to ignore a big Russian state. So we see that maybe only such economical sanction it's not effective to stop Putin, to stop Russia. It's a good instrument to unite enemies of Ukraine and democratic world. Russia financed many projects, financed many journalists, experts in Western societies. So Russia has many agents in media and society in Western countries, and it's hot topic how to stop the influence in media and society. Yep, we agree. We think that now European Commission and in Europe, in state, in Great Britain, governmental bodies are banning Russian media, but Russia try to use social media, try to use many agents in different spheres. So it's not easy decision how to stop spreading of misinformation, disinformation. We see that in now in this war and on these days Russia use informational weapon as real weapon, because Russia has proactive policy with using fake and informational manipulations to receive results in these days. So it's very hard challenge for Western or any countries how not to be victim of Russian propaganda and Russian informational terrorism. Russia try to use maybe its influence on Serbia and Serbian media, and try to use in Montenegro and different countries. There are some networks of agents who support Russia, Russian attitudes, and it's very hard to ordinary people how to understand reality in this sphere. I think that Russia doesn't want to support Serbia or support some Balkan countries. They try to use Serbia and to use realities and maybe conflicts on Balkans to use to disorder the world, not to support, to help, not to solve problems, but they use problems and conflicts to organize bigger problems. And I think that Belgrade is not independent in these decisions, and Belgrade maybe tries to use the situation maybe to receive some maybe financial, economical support from Russia, but we see that that Western countries or Europe, all Europe is united, but Serbia is exceptional behavior. But it's the fact of that Belgrade is not independent. It's not that Serbia has arguments not to support Ukrainians and Ukrainians in needs. I and my colleagues from National Union of Journalists of Ukraine, we are happy that Kosovo government and Kosovo proposes such a great program to support the Ukrainian journalists and to support shelters for my colleagues. And yep, if we discuss about reality of Ukrainian journalism now, Ukrainian journalists, there are so many challenges for our profession, for Ukrainian media, for journalists now. One of the biggest problem, or maybe the main topic, is safety, and we as union, as journalists, we we try to we try to protect our colleagues from Russian occupiers, because for this moment there are 21 names of Ukrainian journalists and media workers in list of killed media workers in Ukraine, killed by Russia. So safety is our big priority. The second challenge is is surviving, because there are many dozens and hundreds of journalists who are now trying to survive from dangerous places, dangerous regions, from Donbass, from Kherson region, Zaporizhia region, and other, where Russia tried to occupy, tried to ruin our peaceful country. And there are many internal refugees, there are many refugees abroad, and many of editors and journalists who escaped from dangerous places, but they now are discussing about their future. And our union and different other NGOs, we are talking, we are discussing with our international partners, some international governments, and we are asking to implement, to create special program to support Ukrainian journalists and media, to support maybe through some small salaries for journalists in Ukraine, because we try to support them. So I think such program as residence in Kosovo, shelters in Kosovo, is a good opportunity to journalists to receive shelter and to receive some possibility to be in profession. But problem for my colleagues, Ukrainian journalists, is that maybe most of us, we want to live in Ukraine, we want to work in Ukraine, and for this first stage of war, maybe first, because just in 1.5 months from beginning of war, everybody hope that that war will end in few days or few weeks. So maybe there are no big number of applications, but we try to deliver this information for opportunity, for possibility, and I think that rules of this program, conditions of from Kosovo program are great, as very great for journalists. So I hope that in next some weeks we receive many applications, because now Ludmila Makey, she's first our applicant, Ukrainian journalist. She is received good shelter. She received any support, all support from Kosovo, as governmental, as media sector. So I think that that such great start of this program will be successful in future too.